Haven. Today I'm coming on here talking about taking your time. Yes, you, take your time. Relax. That is what my friend's dad told me years and years and years ago when I started dating my daughter's father. He told me, take my time. Instead of asking practically, okay, how do I take my time? Or what do you mean by that? In pride, I was like, I get what he's saying. I'm going to take my time. But instead, I put all my eggs in one basket. I was presumptuous. I was all in love, which what I thought. Right away was calling him my boyfriend, my fiance, and just going straight down this path with this guy that I really didn't know. I hadn't observed enough time. I hadn't listened enough. I hadn't asked enough questions, or even the right questions. I hadn't seen how he was in different seasons to even say, oh, I want to marry this guy. But I was so enthralled and in this fantasy of what I wanted to be in this relationship that I didn't take my time. And so as my kids get older and they start liking different people, I'm going to tell them to take their time, and I'm going to give them principles and ways in which to take their time. First of all, observe that person's life. Observe how they treat themselves, how they treat other people, how they talk about their parents, how they talk about their ex and their enemies. Pay attention to those things, because in the scheme of life, even if you guys are lovers or friends, you're going to be those things to each other in some way, shape, or form. And so you need to see how that person treats people, period. And especially people that are serving. Let's say it was a waitress or a waiter, and you go to a restaurant, say the waiter or the waitress gets the order wrong. See how that person addresses that person. See if they complain on and on and on for the entire night. See how they handle different difficulties or small things, because when it's something bigger, then that's really going to give you an indication of how they're going to get through it. Pay attention to when they're happy, to when they're sad, to when they're winning or when they're losing in life, or when they're grieving. Is many things as you can observe from their life is very important. Also, listen to them. Don't listen to what you want to hear. Listen to what they're actually saying. And if you don't understand, ask questions. There is nothing wrong with asking questions and actually understanding what that person is saying and not making assumptions. We try to have these relationships that are 30, 40, 50, 60 plus years, but we don't know people. We rush into relationships, we rush into getting a title, we rush into, oh, I want to have a kid at 28 and I want to be married by 30. What's going to happen if you're not? Nothing. You're going to be perfectly fine. Take your time. Guard your heart. Observe people. Listen to people. Ask questions. And just know that you're worth it. You're worth getting to know, and they are worth getting to know as well. And at the end of the day, if it's just a friend, it's better than making them something that they're not in your life and putting them in a position they should never have been in. So I remember at work, I had a coworker. He was a new coworker, and they sat me next to him. And some months went by, and one day he's like, hey, I want to tell you something, but don't tell anyone. And I just kind of looked at him, and I'm like, well, I don't tell other people stuff, so. And he goes, oh, I know, because there's a couple things I told you, and it didn't come back to me, so I know that you don't run your mouth. And I laughed so hard. It was hilarious. Because I'm like, look at this guy. Who am I to him? Just a coworker with my earphones on working, and he's already observing and seeing what he can tell and not tell someone. And he was observing how if I was a gossip, if I was trustworthy, he had already been making those little plans and calculating and observing and paying attention. And I wasn't even going to be in any relationship with him further than being a coworker. And what do we do with people that we plan on being in a relationship with? We plan on being with the rest of our lives. We don't observe. We don't watch. We don't pay attention. We just get so caught up in what we desire that ultimately leads us astray. And it's on us, because we need to take our time. We need to let time tell. People are always wanting to say, oh, let's do this, I want that. And I always look at them and I go, time will tell, because it's the truth. Because people say they're down, or they say they like you, or they say this and that, but then one incident happens and then they're ghost. And that just goes to show you that person wasn't really for you. But if you were hopping in the bed with that person and making all these plans with that person and all these other things, you have more things to weigh out your true decision where you should leave. You're like, oh, well, I already slept with him. Oh, well, we already made all these plans. Oh, well, I made all these decisions before I let time tell. So just let time tell. Take your time. Don't rush to sleep with people. Don't rush and make all these decisions and these lifelong commitments, and you don't even know this person. Just relax. Take your time. Guard your heart. In the Bible, it says to guard your heart, for out of it are the issues of life. And so it actually says keep, but when you look up keep, it means to guard, and it means to put a boundary. Don't just let any old person in. Don't just let any old person know your dreams and your visions and what you desire and everything about you when they haven't gone through anything with you for you to share that with them. Just be careful. Take your time. And as you do that, the right person will spend enough time with you and they'll want to know, and you'll be able to be transparent with that person and share your heart with that person, and they'll be able to keep it safe because they earned it and it wasn't just freely given to them. Take care. I hope that helps you. Bye.